Hello, welcome to Tabletop CP and update number 4 in our 8th Army Hobby Series. Starting off with a recap of what we've gotten done this far. So we have 3 sections. Whoops. We got the three base sections for the platoon. We have the 2 leaders for chain of command, lieutenant and platoon sergeant. We have our dual lieutenant and man on single base for bolt action. It's got some support weapons, 2-inch mortar, sniper, AT rifle, 3-inch mortar with spotter, Vickers machine gun, 2-pounder, and the Grant, and then 3 of the Mark 6 Vickers light tanks. And this is what we've gotten done since the last update, which was about 3 weeks ago. So we've been busily working on these guys, and the speed painting method's really paid off. We've gotten a lot done. Speed painted the men, speed painted the weapons, speed painted the vehicles even. So it's a very fast and effective way to do it. So let's just go over what we got done. So I finished the blister, the command blister from the 8th Army box. And we have our senior leader. So this is he could be a crewman, he could be a senior officer in bolt action. And then we have the guy who will take over the role as platoon sergeant, as he looks a little bit different. And I did a head swap on this guy. The only 2 head swaps I did in this army were him and the medic. So I did want the medic to be a Sikh. And these guys I think are a little bit bigger than the weapons crew, so the head swaps look actually really good on these. So we got our medic. And then we got our FO guy here with the radio feeding the monkey a banana or whatever it is. So that's really a unique sculpt. Back here we have the 4th section, so it's good to have a 4th section for both games. It's just a nice support option. And then we have the engineers. So I made an engineer, 6-man engineer group out of the plastic boxes that I had. And since they look so similar, I did add some backpacks from the USMC box. So this is really the only thing that distinguishes most of these guys from regular guys, is that backpack. There's the shovel on the backpack. We got a few of those. I took these arms from the sergeant from the USMC box as well. And I found an Enfield rifle in the bits box, gave it to him. And then this guy is my flamethrower team. So I did a little bit of green stuff on this. As you can see, the backpack, I just used some green stuff, wrapped it around a pen, stuck it on there, put a thing in the middle, even green stuff the hose, and then I used a 2-inch mortar arm for the flamethrower part. So he probably should be carrying it in his right hand, but I didn't feel like getting that crazy, so he'll carry it in his left hand and he'll switch hands when he needs to use it. We got some more support weapons as well. Another boys AT rifle, another 2-inch mortar. So it's always good to have 2 2-inch mortars, especially in chain of command, as they are quite good in that game. And then I finished the last of the big support weapons out of the 8th Army box, the 6-pounder. So that came out pretty good. And then the 25-pounder came out really cool as well. Really cool looking weapon there. And then I built a few extra crew for these guys. So between the extra crew here and the extra crew on my 2-pounder, I can field 2 fully crewed. And you're probably not going to see much more than that in a game of chain of command, so I should have enough to crew everything that I want to field. And in the back we have the vehicles that I've completed since the last update. So starting over here, we got a couple Matildas, 2 of them 2 AT gun turrets. We have 1 close support turret, and I did the Cantor camo on these. Very simple, just painted it green. Used some masking tape as is, just as wide as it is. Didn't cut it or anything. Threw it on there, tried to get as straight a line as possible and as tight a seal as I could. Sprayed it with some desert over that and did a pin wash, some weathering, painted on some stripes, threw on some decals, and done. So I'm happy with those. We did the same technique over here, minus the camo, just desert yellow over black, some dry brushing, some pin washing, some weathering, a few decals, and done. So it's a Bishop self-propelled gun. It's on a Valentine chassis. Not very effective in the war, but surprisingly a lot of the least effective tanks in real life are some of the most effective tanks in bolt action. So that should do pretty well in the game. And then lastly, I have my 2 favorite vehicles that I've done so far is these 2 Indian pattern carriers. So again, a simple camo scheme, just some lighter sand over darker sand color, and then again pin wash and some weathering. And I did add some crew to these. These are guys from the plastic box, and I used some of the arms from the prone guy to add to the pintle. And I also cut some guys up, chopped them in half, cut half an arm off, and they were able to squeeze in there after I shaved off some of the steering wheel. So it's got a driver, it's got a gunner, and then I cut a bristle off of my broom, stuck it in there with some super glue to use for the antenna, and it's very flexible and should last quite a while. So I'm very happy with those. And that is it. That's almost everything. I have a couple Valentines, a Churchill, a quad tractor, a couple armored cars left to do, and a couple of extra turrets is all I have left. And I can get these vehicles knocked out pretty quick. So I'm thinking the next video that I do is going to be the final video, the showcase for these guys, because I should be able to get done with these fairly quickly. So it took me 3 weeks to get from this to this, and about 2 weeks to get from the planned video to this. So this army is moving along very rapidly. I am very happy with it. Can't wait to get them on the table. So with that, I'll say thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you for the next one.